Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for March 19th, 2023. So, clearly my voice is mostly back. I feel like I still have just a tad left of the whatever cold or flu or whatever I had 2 weeks ago. And my voice didn't come back until about Thursday, which is good because that's when I had my training. So at least I didn't have any trouble there. Except for a few coughing fits when I got that tickle. But other than that, I did fairly well that way. So training went well. That was really fun. Very tiring. We did a lot of walking, and that was really, that was good for me. Don't get me wrong. So it was kind of funny because after we had the tour and 2 long days at work, I was so exhausted, and my parents called, and I was going to get my mom's treadmill. And because I have a recumbent bike, and I just gave it to my brother for him to try because he's on his feet all day, so he wanted to sit doing some exercises. So I gave him that because I was tired of using it because I sit all day at work. So I wanted a treadmill. My mom doesn't use hers anymore, so we were gonna go get it this month or next month. And I called her on Friday saying, "Hey, I'm too tired. This is not the weekend for it." They called me Saturday and said they're coming with it. They somehow got it downstairs and into the truck. I don't know. They shouldn't have done it. Anyway, my dad hurt his hand because it slipped a little bit on the wall. So I don't know. That was great. Anyway, point is we got it into the house, but I can't get it upstairs yet. My brother and I might have to take it apart and to put it upstairs. So right now it's like my living room. Like, that's kind of it. So if you saw my Instagram pictures of that, so it's gonna just sit by my fireplace right now when it's folded up, so I can't watch my television, so I'll have to use I'll be either listening to audiobooks or reading or something on there facing the fireplace. Right, that doesn't work because we don't use it because it's a normal fireplace, and someday I would like to get a gas insert, but right, it's just, yeah, we don't use it anyway. So that was my adventure yesterday, was getting that into the house, into the living room, because I had to move things around. So we'll just do that for now. But my whole goal is to start exercising again because I haven't for a couple years now. And I just need to get back into a habit. So, and I don't want to go out of the house to do it because I don't know, I'm shy. Anyway, the point is that I'm going to start that. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the exercise will go well. Anyway, so that's all that's happened this week, really, is me just getting over my still being sick. And then, we had the training, which went well. And then yesterday was getting the treadmill into the house. Anyway, which we did. So my reading was kind of off this week. I still read a lot because I read a lot in the early part of the week. But then I didn't read anything during the Thursday and Friday with training. And then yesterday I was just too tired. Like, I kept looking at I wanted to pick up the book, but I'm like, I just can't. My brain wouldn't let me focus. So I wasted a lot of time on social media and watching BookTube. But sometimes you just need a day off. So I'm hoping today I'll get back into my normal routine again. It's weird for me to have that many days in a row not reading. But again, the 2 days for training, I was super exhausted. So anyway, so I did finish 3 things though, as I said, all early in the week. And then I'm in the middle of quite a few books again. So we'll see what happens. So the first book I finished was, I think on Monday, I finished About a Dragon by G.A. Aiken. This is the second book in the Dragonkin series. So again, this is one of the series I want to read this year for Serious About Series. So I'd never read book 2. I only read book 1 before, so that was a reread. So I read that a couple weeks ago, and then when I wasn't, again, still not feeling very well, I felt I had to pick up something that would be light and fun, and this was definitely it. This one is following one of the dragons that shifters that is connected to the first book. We get to meet him, and he's kind of like one of the standoffish ones, and he comes across this town where he sees this woman being about to be hanged and then burned because they're calling her a witch. And so he saves her and decides he wants to keep her. And she is a witch, actually, but the people that she was with shouldn't have known that. Anyway, so it was like this whole thing. And then it's funny, because she can't tell him why she was in that town or why she didn't want to leave it. And he is like, no, you're coming with me. And so there's this little problem of, he's a dragon. So he just takes her. So he physically lifts her and flies her off somewhere, not anything sexually that way. Everything that way is consent. Anyway, the point is that this was just fun. Fantasy romance. Again, these are written in the mid 2000s. So they're just fun, as I said. So I enjoyed this one because it always brings in all the other characters from the first book that we met. And there's battle scenes, and there's this one has some gods in it, so that was kind of interesting. So that's kind of cool. A thing I didn't know that was going to happen in there. So it was fun. It's never going to be like one of the favorites of mine by G.A. Aiken, but it was still a fun ride, and I'm looking forward to the next book in the series. So again, these are just my kind of palate cleansers in a way, because I just love G.A. Aiken's because they're absurd and they're funny. And if it hits your humor right, these are great books, and all of her books are like this. They're just hilarious. They're not realistic in any way, and they're just fun. Anyway, so I really enjoyed reading that. And then because I was, again, in a weird mood, I picked up Island of Glass by Nora Robert. This is book 3 in the Guardians trilogy. So I just started the Guardians trilogy at the end of February. Again, this was one of the books on my series about series. So see, I am getting some stuff done on that, which is good. Maybe not the books I planned to do this month. Oh well. But I did have time. I was seriously mood reading. So all these are like mood reading pickups that I've done. And so this one is one of her paranormals, where the first book, Stars of Fortune, a group of 6 people meet up in Corfu, I think is the first one. And is that the first one or is the second one? Or Capri? One of the two. It's some island. And they all meet there, and then they're all very different, and there's paranormal elements with them, but they're trying to find these stars that were created by these goddesses that another goddess is trying to take and use those powers. So they're fighting against time to fight against this one goddess who wants to take them, these stars, and they're trying to find them and then protect them and then try to get them back to the Island of Glass, which is in the last book. So yes, Cooper. Anyway, I really liked the way this went. I liked this book a lot. I liked the first and third better. The middle book was pretty much middle book syndrome kind of thing. I didn't like it quite as well, but I love the way all the things that happened in here, and the couple, which I wasn't really sure if I was going to like them together. I did like them in the end. It was one of those ones where I couldn't see any of the chemistry early until this book. So it was kind of weird that way for Nora Roberts for me. I usually can kind of see that coming. I knew that they had to end up together due to the fact that there was 3 couples, in 3 books. But it wasn't, to me, didn't really see that it happening, like the tension and stuff. So I thought that was kind of weird. I think she could have done a little bit better on that. But beyond that, it was just a fun of one of the paranormal series of hers. I definitely want to pick up more. I have the first book in the... Hey! He's knocking things off on me. Oh, pick it up later. He'll play with it in a minute. Anyway, it's the whole spaceman I had there. What was I saying? I have several other series. I have the first book in her newest one, with the first book being The Awakening. I can't remember the name of the series. But I have the first book of that. That was the one that just finished up. And then I do have some older ones on my shelf as well, and a couple that I still want to pick up. So anyway, I do like these. So that was fun. I'm glad I finished that series pretty quickly this year. I didn't plan on reading all those so close together. I actually was going to wait till April to finish that, but I have my mood. And then I picked up Shelley Lawrenston. So again, G.A. Aiken and Shelley Lawrenston is the same person. It's just her 2 lines. Her G.A. Aiken is her fantasy romance series, and her Shelley Lawrenston is her urban fantasy series. And so this one is lightly connected to all of her other series. We're following, what was her name? Oh, Emma. And Emma is a witch, and she lives in Long Island, and it's called The Long Island Coven is the series. There's only 2 books in it, and they're both short. So there's this one, and then there's one in a collection. I had to buy that on eBay to get that collection. So that's on its way to me. So that tells you I like this. Anyway, but it's Shelley Lawrenson. So I'm collecting everything by Shelley Lawrenson or G.I. Aiken, because she is definitely a favorite author of mine, just because it's fun. Like, these are fun and readable and rereadable is the whole thing. So anyway, this one is following Emma, who her coven is kind of on the is not one of the more well established, or they're established, but they're not as well loved as some of the other ones, because they happen to they're pretty powerful and a little wild, being in their mid-20s and getting, or maybe were these the 20, maybe they're a little older than that, maybe they're early 30s, that they're like in that kind of like that range, late 20s, early 30s, I can't remember exactly. And so they're a little wild, but they've known each other since like high school, and this coven. And so she is sent on a mission down there, which she normally doesn't go on the mission. She's very much the button-laced accountant in her job at work and stuff. And then she's a witch. It's great. Anyway, so she goes down there, and she is trying to, there's something that might have come through some kind of portal that they accidentally might have opened. They're not sure. They're trying to figure out why there's this kind of power thing going on. And she goes down there and immediately is attacked. And in the aftermath of the attack, she is, she meets a deputy, which again is Kyle. And he is a panther shifter. And so then what we found is we were in a town where I don't remember if this is one of the Smithvilles, but it's like one of the towns where all the shifters, it's a shifter town. And so they're kind of off the map. They don't let the tourists who come are other shifters from other places. So it's kind of this little town. So that's why it's called My Kind of Town. So anyway, and it's their story, but there's the urban fantasy elements of this, whatever is out that it attacked her or what she came down for. And then her coven is also waiting in the wings to see if they have to come down and save her. And so this goes in such directions I didn't realize, even for this, it's only 145 pages. It's really short, but it was really a fun read. It's definitely one I wish she had continued and wrote more in, because there's only going to be these 2. These are written in the mid 2000s as well. As I said, I've read all her newer stuff. I'm now going back and reading anything that I find that's not in the series I've read. So, as a G.I. Aiken, the Dragonkin was her first full series. And then this was a little offshoot one of her Magnus pack and the Pride series. But this is one of the early ones, but she only wrote 2 things to this. So anyway, I'm going to get the second one, which I don't know. The collection is called Belong to the Night, but I don't know what the second book is called. So we'll find out. Anyway, but I'm going to get that. But I did enjoy this. I'm glad I found this. I have to go back to her website. I feel like I thought I figured everything out, and then this one popped up on Amazon, and I'm like, what? I don't have that. So there might be a few more little novellas or short things that I haven't read of hers yet. So anyway, but I'm still working through most of her stuff. So anyway, that was kind of it. So those are the only books that I've finished this week. As I said, I did that all by Wednesday night, and then I didn't. So I'm in the middle of a couple books. A couple of these are from before. I did pick up the 6 Sacred Stones by Matthew Riley on Wednesday and read 100 pages. So I'm reread. This is a reread for me. So I'm about 280 pages in. So I'm almost halfway on this reread. Again, this is like 560 pages. So I started this in February. But this is the Jack West Jr. series, which is an action-packed adventure series, mostly to do with people who are in different militaries around the world, and they are all trying to solve these ancient mysteries to do with like Ramses II and things like that. Like they're it's very, very unrealistic, but it's really fast moving. He writes really short chapters, to the point. He has little drawings on things, like where you get to see, like they go to Stonehenge, so you see a little thing on Stonehenge. It's interactive. It's kind of they're fun reads. I like them. Anyway, so I've read only the first 3 in the series. I read The 7 Deadly Wonders, and I reread it last year, I think last February or March. So I meant to get back to the series, but I didn't. So anyway, this year I'm hoping to finish the 7-book series. So book 2 is The 6 Sacred Stones. And then I've also read the 5 Warriors. I don't remember what the other part of the title is, but I've read those 3. Oh gosh, Cooper. He's just pacing back and forth. Like, I don't do this every Sunday. Anyway, so I need to finish reading this, and then reread number 3. I think this is The 5 Greatest Warriors. And then after that, the last 4 books are new to me because I have not read them, because he took a break in the middle of them due to his life circumstances. And then once he started writing again, I just collected them and I haven't read them. I have them all on my shelf, so I do need to read them. So this is a series that is definitely when I want to, as I said, finish my rereads and then read the rest of the series. I don't think it was on my series about series list, but it definitely is one I do want to try to get to this year and try to finish these. So anyway, so I made progress on that because I read another 100 pages because I took a break from it. I read part of it in February, and I put it down to read other things, and I want to get back to this. So I did make a little progress on Mistress of the Art of Death by Adriana Franklin. So I have about 100 pages left? Yeah, just about 100 pages left. So I have about 2.5 hours on my audiobook, I think. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, I just haven't listened to audiobooks at all this week. I think I listened to it for one day for an hour, and that was like it. So I need to get back to this. So this is a mystery I'm reading for March Mystery Madness. And this is a reread as well. This one is, I read this when it first came out. I think it was around 2007 or so. I don't remember for sure. But this is taking place in 1171. And we're following Amelia. Is it Amelia? Oh, my brain just stopped working. Adelia. Sorry. Adelia. And she has come from Sicily, where she has trained as a doctor of death kind of thing, in that time period. She knows stuff about doctoring, but she knows more about dead bodies and stuff. So she is sent on this mission where in Cambridge, there are children who are dying. And so she goes with a few others to there, and then they are caught up in the mystery of who is killing these kids. And then other people start dying as well. And anyway, it's been really good. Again, I said, I don't remember in the end. I don't think I remember who's the killer, so I think I'm still waiting for, hey, oh, the cat is driving me crazy today. I don't know who the killer is, so I'm still it's been so long I don't remember. I remember how it ends due to some things that happened to our characters. And then, as I said, this is another series where I read the first book, as I said, many years ago when it first came out. And then I didn't know until later that there were books that followed. And then I couldn't get back into it because I'd been so long. So I wanted to reread this book and then hopefully continue that series as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many of these series I can continue and read. But I am really enjoying this. I have not listened to an audiobook in a while, which is why the next book I haven't made any progress. I'm hoping this next week I will be, back at work. I'm feeling a lot better. And again, now I have the treadmill. I might be listening to audiobooks on the treadmill. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm hoping to get that done. I have, as I said, a couple hours left. So maybe Monday I can get that done. So I haven't made any progress in Les Mis by Victor Hugo. So hopefully this week I can make some progress. I'm still at 150. This book is, and my dad saw this yesterday, but he's like, oh my gosh, that's huge. Yeah, see what I'm reading. Anyway, so I hope to get back to this. I'm just saying my March of Madness nothing's moving. I said I haven't made any progress in Dragon Mage by M.L. Spencer either. I'm still at 60 about 63. So I'm hoping that after the book that I'm going to talk about now, that I can get back to this one, but we'll see. As I said, I've started Mammoths. That doesn't mean they're going to finish in March. We will see. But the book that I'm reading, well, I was reading Wednesday before I went to training, and I thought I would read it while I was in training, but I did not, because I didn't read anything that day, or those 2 days. Oh, I have the wrong, oh no. Okay, that's not gonna work. Sorry, we'll do this super quick. So I am reading Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. So I did join the Kickstarter last year, and I do expect to get the hardcover here fairly soon, but I also got the ebooks. So I've been putting this off, waiting for my hardback, but last week I was like, I just need to start this book before the next one comes out for the Secret Projects. So I did start this. I'm about 170 pages in. So I'm about 35% of the way through. And I'm really enjoying this. This is a very light fantasy that I know a lot of people have like whole videos on, as I said. So I went into this a little blind. I knew it was going to be it was going to be a light fantasy, as in it's easy reading. So Tress is kind of on her an adventure to save somebody, and I didn't realize the directions this is going to be. I don't know how much I should say, since I don't want to give anything away, but I'm really enjoying it. I like her, and I like some of the companionships that she's met and the things that's happened so far. As I said, I'm only 35% of the way through. But I just got my notification yesterday that they're going to ship my book on Monday. So I'm really excited. I'm finally going to get the hardback. I've been so mad that everybody else has theirs, it feels like. And people who didn't even order them got them on, here on BookTube. And I was like, I'm so mad. I paid for that. I should get mine too. Anyway, so supposedly mine is shipping on Monday. So I will have the hardback by the end of the month. But I'm reading my ebook copy. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting that and finally having that. And I will probably have it on display once. I'm going to change all this. Actually, I was going to change this yesterday. My plan was to change some of my books around, and then my parents and the treadmill thing happened and then kind of gave up. But anyway, I'm hoping to get back to this today and try to get this done in the next couple of days. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really fast read. I read a lot of it on Wednesday. as I said, I didn't read anything the last 3 days due to stuff. So, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad. As I said, I would not say I'm the biggest Sanderson fan. I have read the Mistborn Era 1. I'm halfway through in Mistborn Era 2. I've read Warbreaker and a few of the novellas. I need to go back and read Elantris, and then I'm hoping to start the Stormlight Archives in the next month or two. So, but I want to be on top of the Secret Projects a little bit better. This first 3 months, it just didn't happen because I didn't get the book. So I didn't force myself to read the ebook, because I'm like, I don't read that ebooks that often, but I started it, so I'm going to read that on my Kindle. And hopefully, get that done. So that's all the stuff I have to do. Really quickly, I'll have a video later this week. I'm doing my Triad chapter. As I said, every month I'm trying to do this to try to get myself to look at some books that have been on my shelf for a while that are either on those lists that I made at the beginning of the year of 23 and 20, 23 books I have to read in 2023, or on my self-destruct list, or on my series list of something that I want to get to. So this month, of course, I'm going to do something related to March Mystery Madness by doing mysteries. So I picked 3, and I'm going to do these either today or tomorrow. So you'll see a video probably Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided what day. Probably Wednesday I'll put it up. It matters if I get done. Anyway, so one of them is on my 23 in 2023 that I want to read. This is a book I just picked up, so that's new. But I've had this one on my shelf for quite a while. I think they're all the beginning of series, of course, but they're all ones that I wanted to get to in March Mystery Madness, but I didn't put them on my TBRs because I had so many others, and also I just got this one. So we'll see. As I said, those are the books that I will do that video on, but you won't see that for a couple of days. Anyway, so that's it. Look at you, calm down, cat. Anyway, so I have not been showing the board. I have been keeping track. This is what it looks like for the 3 months. So I just need to mark. I do get to mark a little bit, as in I started a series with My Kind of Town. I continued with Dragonkin, and I finished. Look at me! I finished one for the Guardians series. So I didn't do anything else. Yeah, nothing else was finished. So that's kind of it. So as I said, I'll clear this off at the end of March. But I mean, my series, I'm doing definitely very good. All these are continues. So I'm doing really good on that. And again, I have a couple of really big books. Of course, 2 of those were rereads as well. That's how that works. And then again, I was going to make a little extra thing for my mammoths if I ever finished any, but I didn't. Anyway, so as I said, we're chugging along. Not perfect on what I wanted, but you know, as I said, I've read quite a few books. I've already finished 50 books this year. And my goal again is 52 books for the year, because I always want that down as an average of 1 a week. So the fact I'm super far ahead, that I'll definitely hit that before the end of March, is really good. And I don't think about Goodreads ever again. Like on that, like I don't care about the number anymore after that. So I think that's it. Okay, I have talked too much, and Cooper is upset. Anyway, so what are you guys reading? How is your reading going? My mammoth is definitely stalled out. I think getting sick was just destroyed that, because I stopped listening to audiobooks because my brain wasn't going there, and I haven't picked those up at all. So I'm hoping this last week, I'm not going to finish either one of those, but I am hoping that I can at least make a dent in both of them before the end of the month, and then hopefully finish them in the next month or so. But we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck on doing the treadmill. Hopefully that works out. And I think that's it. So let me know how you guys are doing, what you're reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.